gather around the table once again for another session of Dungeons and Drakfu. And today we are back. First of all, Happy New Year to everybody. Happy 2017. I know I've already said that earlier on in the Tale of Drakfu, but there you go. Happy 2017, everybody. And today we're going to be taking on one of the last two dungeons that we can take on in Classic WoW. There is one other that we could do, but it's since been reformatted to Warlords of Draenor, and it was a heroic-only dungeon. So at that point, we can't really do it until we hit Warlords of Draenor. But today we're going to be taking on the Sunken Temple, or formerly known as the Temple of AtalHakkar in the Swamp of Sorrows. And let's go ahead and get things started with the lore of the Sunken Temple. Now, one thing I actually do need to explain before we do that, Sunken Temple, as I knew it in vanilla and the way that it's now portrayed, are very, very different. So originally in the Sunken Temple, there were actually two floors to it, or roughly two floors. A lower floor which dealt solely with trolls, and an upper floor which dealt with the green dragonflight. As of Cataclysm, they decided to take that whole troll floor out. So we're only going to be able to see the top floor, but the original one was actually going to go into the lore of Zul'Gurub, Zul'Aman, additional troll lore, because it's connected to the Soulflare Hakkar. Because we would actually face the Atal'Hakkar trolls, the ones that tried to bring Hakkar in. To those who don't know who Hakkar is the Soulflare, or the god of Zul'Gurub. He had worshippers trying to give sacrifices to him. In fact, the reason that we had to go into Zul'Gurub originally was to defeat Hakkar, the blood god, roughly. And now that's since been changed a little bit, but mainly because Zul'Gurub used to be like a 20-man raid. Now it's a 5-man as of Cataclysm. So let's go ahead and go into the lore really quick. That'll probably explain a little bit more. Let's see. So classic, we need the Sunken Temple. The Temple of AtalHakkar. Here we go. So, thousands of years ago, the Gurubashi Empire was plunged into a civil war by a powerful sect of priests, the Atal'Hakkar, who sought to summon to Azeroth an avatar of their god of blood, Hakkar, the Soulflare. The Gurubashi people exiled the Atal'Hakkar to the Swamp of Sorrows, where the priests built the Temple of AtalHakkar. Ysera, aspect of the green dragonflight, sank the temple beneath the swamp and assigned wardens to ensure that the summoning rituals will never be performed again. So with that, that's why the lower floor is not there. It's been sunken due to Ysera. And I believe, so Lord Itharius, I do think actually has a quest inside the Sunken Temple. Yes, the heart of the temple. So let's go ahead and take it. I must confess, I have a more personal involvement in this nature. One of the first of the green dragons corrupted here was my brother, Irenicus. I thought Irenicus gone, lost forever to the darkest rifts of nightmare, but I have heard that his shade has emerged within the temple. I know not whether it is truly him, or an empty, mournful echo. If you wish to help me further, return to the Hall of Masks and journey through the archway into the true sanctum of the temple. I will find you there. Okay, so basically just asking us to go into the Temple of AtalHakkar. So now we're going to go ahead and enter into the Sunken Temple. It actually used to take a long time to get into the Sunken Temple. They've now changed that. Now, I actually used to really like the Sunken Temple, aside from all of the troll floor was kind of busted. It was, you had to unlock the upper floor. And for that, you actually had to take on 4 mini-bosses that were trolls. And it was very difficult to try and track them down. That's why in a lot of cases, I think they got rid of it. It was a ring that could easily get lost in. So, with that, there is the new portal for the Sunken Temple. Originally, it was down the hall to the right. Let's go ahead and get things started. Oh no, the Sunken Temple! Or, you know, if it's in the Dungeon Journal, we'll probably go with the Temple of AtalHakkar. Yeah, they call it that. So, yay. Lord Itharius. Hakkar is known by many names. Some call him the Blood God. Others simply refer to him as the Soulflare. Titles aside, he is an entity of enormous power, with malicious intentions for our world. My flight discovered this temple early on, and sank it beneath the Swamp of Sorrows. Unfortunately, we only seemed to aid the Atal'Hakkar by ensuring their efforts to summon Hakkar went on undisturbed. Many of the dragons tasked with guarding the temple have been corrupted, and the Soul Flayer's presence grows with each passing day. I cannot stop them alone. Together, though, we might have enough time to stop this madness. So let's go ahead and turn in this one. I am pleased to see you once again, Drakfu. You're truly noble to assist me further.
Good luck, friend.
Let's see. So now we have 3. Jamalan the Prophet. Jamalan the Prophet, leader of the Atal'Hakkar and Hakkari trolls, has obtained a small amount of Hakkar, the Soul Flayer's blood. They are injecting it into the green dragons to use their bodies to produce the massive quantities of blood necessary to summon Hakkar into our world. We cannot allow this to come to pass. Slaughter Jamalan and his priests before they get any further into their efforts.
Be careful.
Let's see. Now, finally, we have Erraticus. The Hakkar blood the Atal'Hakkar have been injecting into the green dragons has had devastating effects on the dragons themselves. It appears that these dragons, former jailers of the Atal'Hakkar, have become corrupted by its presence in their bodies, and have become creatures of the nightmare. Erraticus, Ysera's primary consort and lead watcher over the temple, was infused with the largest quantities of blood, and has become twisted beyond imagination. After Jamalan is dead, find Erraticus and end him. Okay? So we have that, and then finally, the blood god Hakkar. Hakkar. The mere mention of the Soul Flayer's name will send many running. In the sanctum of the fallen god, the Atal'Hakkar have recovered a significant portion of his skeleton, and seek to restore him to life. Already his children have begun to show up in the area. Place this egg in that sanctum, and it will force his summoning prematurely. Drakfu, do not hesitate. Strike once his avatar appears.
Good luck, friend.
Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and get started into the Temple of AtalHakkar. So I'll probably put that on the thumbnail, because I actually like that name a lot better. Way. We're not really going to worry about looting, per se. So basically, the difference here is you can see the map is very basic. We're actually coming across the one dead end in the whole area, and that's fine. But this is a much simpler layout than the original lower floor of the Sunken Temple. That was much bigger, much easier to get lost in, not fun. Now, we're going to do these bosses a little bit out of order, because I believe you do come across Erraticus before Jamalan. I might be wrong. No, this is Jamalan's room, so we're going to be fine. So here is the room of Jamalan the Prophet, in the lair of the Chosen. And they've got an interesting little mechanic here. There are spirits that will hunt you down, and you cannot hurt them. The only way to handle them is to back up a few steps, let them just slowly come to you, and they will die off. Like that. And now we'll do this. Have these ghosts back off as well. So again, happy Monday. I hope everybody's having a good week so far, especially since this is the start of a new year. Hopefully it's been a good start thus far, but for most, I have a feeling that's not the case. You had to come back to work. I understand that concept. Let's see. So let's go ahead and kill these guys. We have yet another ghost. Hi, Ghosty Poo. And then up at the altar, obviously, is Jamalan, but you also do have Ogum the Wretched, who is his assistant, I believe. No, he may be another undead troll. I can't remember. We'll go ahead and take care of Ogum first. Boom!
The Soul Flayer comes.
Does he now? Does he? Then he can meet my Fist of Fury. Oh, crap, I'm rooted. Okay. Let's get out of here. Too many spirits, too many spirits. But hey, we took care of Jamalan. We just need to claim his head. Over here. There we go. Oh, we'll just grab everything. Yay! So that's one of the many bosses that we need to take care of. Now, you'll notice that we actually have a bunch of bosses that weren't even listed. And those are Dream Scythe, Weaver, Morphaz, and Hazas. They are actually green dragons that are corrupted. And I believe you have to take them out first before you can go meet with Erraticus. That may have been fixed so that you don't have to worry about that, but I'm not sure. Here's Dream Scythe and Weaver, so we'll take care of them. Yes, there you go, Dream Scythe. Turn back! Do not wake the dreamer! And there we go. Now we have both Weaver and Dreamscythe taken care of. Obviously, they don't have blue loot, because they are more mini-boss than boss. And there's our other two. We're gonna gather everybody up. So there's Morphaz and Hazas. Hi, buddy. And they just drop greens. Now for the, oh, actually, I forgot. So yeah, so you take care of these guys, and then the Shade of Aranicus would appear. Now, Aranicus used to be the prime consort of Ysera, the green dragon, or the aspect of the green dragonflight. Now, I know a few people have already asked me because they were kind of confused when I tried to explain it before. What is a prime consort? Consort is basically their #1 mate. So, but is considered leadership because of that. So, Aranicus is the #1 mate of Ysera. Unfortunately, he has since passed on, especially if you've read the novel Stormrage. He did have an unfortunate end in that, but more appropriate for him since he's been corrupted for a long, long time. Another example would be Corialstraz, aka Crassus. He is the prime consort of Alexstrasza. Or if you're looking for a more female example, Sinestra would actually be the prime consort of Neltharion, aka Deathwing. So that's basically the way to be able to look at it. And don't worry, Sinestra will have her day soon enough. Hi, Shade of Aranicus. Let's go ahead and take you out because you are corrupted. There we go. So technically he is the end boss, but we're going to take care of the last one, which is the Avatar of Hakkar. And this used to be like a full-on quest that you had to do back in the vanilla world that I'm kind of glad we took out because it was very complex. Now they've made it a little bit more simple to get through, which is cool because this was an awesome piece of lore. And since Zul'Gurub can be played later,
it's too far.
The only downside of that is that you don't have the original bosses of it, but I'm okay with it, strangely. I wish that we could bring back like the spider boss and the tiger boss from the original Zul'Gurub. Maybe not with mounts, I don't know. Well, at least the tiger boss had a mount. So if you've ever seen a Swift Zulian tiger, that's the mount for it. And these are the Hakkari Frostwings. So this is kind of how Hakkar looks. He's more of these wind serpents. Another common example to the wind serpents, they also have a god on Draenor named Sethith. Or Seth. It's either Seth or Set. One of the two. And he's kind of like Hakkar. The only reason I say kinda is there are some monumental differences between the two. Mainly Arakoa is the people who worship them is the Arakoa instead of the trolls. And there is our Avatar of Hakkar. So let's go ahead and summon him and boom. Bye-bye. Yeah, originally you had to like pour blood into these torches. You had to keep them running until he manifested, and then you had to kill him. And with that, that actually is it. That is the end of the Sunken Temple, so let's just go ahead and wrap things up. I'm going to go ahead and turn these in to Itharius. Thankfully, we didn't go too far. But you can do like a full circle and kill off this trash if you want. This is like the first time we've ever actually had the Green Dragonflight as enemies. And for good reason, they are corrupted by the blood of Hakkar. The blood of AtalHakkar. Oh, okay, over there. Yay! And there is Lord Itharius. Let's go ahead and turn these quests in, and then we'll wrap things up for today. This is going to be kind of a shorter video, but it'll work. See, Lord Itharius, we did it! Hakkar is known by many names. Yes, yes, yes. Jamalan the Prophet. Were you able to kill Jamalan? I'll need proof that the deed is done. Excellent. I suspect that without Jamalan's leadership, the trolls will fall to infighting, and Hakkar will never set his eyes upon our world.
Be careful.
Alright, the next one would be the Blood God Hakkar. You have successfully stopped Hakkar here, but I fear we are far from done. The Atalai transported most of the blood they produced to Zul'Gurub, where the Hakkari worked to summon the Blood God there. Drakfu, I do not think that this was ever meant to be the place of Hakkar's arrival. It It was merely a test to see if the blood was potent enough. Hakkar can only be summoned in Zul'Gurub, and I fear we may be too late to stop the Hakkari with the blood they now have in their possession. Kind of hinting that Zul'Gurub is where you'll fight Hakkar. And then Irenicus. You only defeated Irenicus' shade. This is most troubling. Let us hope that his full form does not exist outside the temple. Only Ysera herself is stronger than him in our flight.
Be careful.
And there you go. And that's going to go ahead and do it for this Dungeons and Drakfu's episode of Sunken Temple, aka the Temple of AtalHakkar. So when we get back next week, we will venture into the last dungeon that we can take on in Classic WoW. We're going back into Blackrock Mountain to take on the lower Blackrock Spire. We'll see you guys next time.